Welcome to my chaos. Let's get right to it. I am resizing a scrub top that I got secondhand. It's a size medium and I need it to be a size extra large. So I'm taking the seams out of the sides and I'm also stitch picking the folded over edge on both sides of the seam about 2 or 3 inches. I'm just going to pick them out so I can lie them completely flat. And I'm going to do this with under the sleeves of both arms and at the bottom of where the hip is. Then I am eventually finding a pair of sharp scissors and I'm literally just cutting off the sewn edge. I'm not even going to stitch pick that, I'm just going to cut it right off. Now that it's laying out flat, I'm going to get myself some black fabric. I don't know what this is, it's a curtain or something. I didn't feel like buying anything new, so I just grabbed whatever I had. And I'm going to cut myself 2 strips of black fabric, long enough to go from the arm to the waist, and I'm going to cut it 3 inches wide. Measure the distance between the hip and the underside of the sleeve, and give yourself a couple more inches because it's better to have a few extra than a few short. I cut my fabric into 6 inches, and then I cut it in half for 2 3-inch pieces. Now pin one edge to the bottom and pin it right sides together all up the side. Right until you get under the sleeve. And it's going to be a little hanging over under the sleeve, but that's okay, we'll cut it off after. Over the sewing machine, you're going to sew it. Remember, right sides together. Now you're going to grab the other side, or the same side, and you're going to sew that black piece to the other side of your sweater. And we lined up the bottom, so we don't have to worry about overhang there. And I'm just eyeballing it. I'm not going to bother to pin with the next piece. I'm just going to put it on and sew it straight. The fabric doesn't stretch, so I don't have to worry about bunching or picking or curling. Once that's done, you don't have to do this, but if you have a serger, serge those edges. If you don't, you can just use your sewing machine on a zigzag stitch and just go over the edges to make sure they don't ruffle and fray, and it just makes it cleaner looking. Back to the sewing machine, we are going to trim that excess under the arm. And remember how we unfolded a little bit on either side of the stitching we cut out? Well, I'm just going to fold it over the new piece. I'm going to fold it over to match and just sew straight across. I'm going to do that for all 4. And voila! And it glows in the dark, by the way. All those little stars glow in the dark. Oh my god, it fits! There's a big mirror behind the camera, so that's why I keep looking at myself. But yeah, that is from a medium. Now I'm an extra large and it fits me. And that's a new top for work. Kind of what I did with the hoodie resize. And I'll see you all next week. Bye-bye!